Sydney McLaughlin Levrone just told the whole track world she won't be racing at all in 2026. And honestly, the reason behind it is something nobody saw coming. So here's what happened. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone, the fastest 400-meter hurdles runner in history, made a big announcement. She is stepping away from the track for the entire 2026 season. Not because of an injury, not because she's tired, not because of any drama. Sydney and her husband Andre Levrone Jr. are expecting their first baby. And just like that, one of the biggest names in all of track and field will not be on any start line next year. Now let's talk about why this is such a big deal. Sydney is not just any runner. She holds the world record in the 400-meter hurdles. Every time she steps on the track, she is the one everyone watches. She is the one everyone is trying to beat. And right now, nobody has been able to do that. So when someone like her says she is sitting out an entire year, it hits different. The sport is literally losing its brightest star for a full season. But here is the thing that makes this even more interesting. The timing of this decision is actually really smart. See, 2026 is what people in track and field call a slower year. There are no Olympic Games in 2026. There are no World Championships either. It is one of those in-between years where the biggest events are not happening. So if you are going to take a year off, this is the best year to do it. Sydney and her team clearly thought about this. They picked the one window where she would miss the least amount of big races. Think about it. If she tried to take 2027 off, she would miss the World Championships. If she tried to take 2028 off, she would miss the Olympics in Los Angeles. But 2026? That is the gap year. That is the one year where stepping away does not cost her any major titles or medals. It is honestly a perfect plan. Now let's talk about what fans are feeling right now. Because a lot of people are excited for her. Starting a family is a huge moment, and Sydney has always been open about how important her faith and her family are to her. This is something she and Andre have clearly been looking forward to, and you can tell by the way the announcement came out that they are both really happy. But at the same time, there are fans who are a little sad, because that means we will not see Sydney race for over a year. No record attempts, no big finals, no jaw-dropping moments on the track. For a sport that depends so much on its stars to bring attention and excitement, losing Sydney for a year is going to leave a noticeable gap. And here is something else worth talking about. A lot of female athletes in the past have taken time off to have children and then come back even stronger. We have seen it happen over and over again. Allyson Felix did it. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce did it. These women came back after becoming mothers and ran some of the best races of their careers. So, if history tells us anything, Sydney could very well come back better than ever. And that brings us to the big picture. Because 2027 and 2028 are where things get really exciting. When Sydney does come back, she is expected to return in 2027. That gives her a full year to get back in shape, train hard, and get ready for competition again. And then, in 2028, the Olympics are in Los Angeles, on home soil, in front of her own fans, in her own country. Can you imagine that? Sydney McLaughlin Levrone, coming back from having her first child, running in the Olympic Games right here in the United States. That storyline is almost too perfect. The comeback, the crowd, the pressure, the emotion. If she can pull that off and win gold in LA, it would be one of the greatest stories in Olympic history. And knowing Sydney, she is already thinking about it. She is someone who plans everything out. She does not leave things to chance. Her whole career has been about being ready for the biggest moments, and there is no bigger moment than a home Olympics. So yes, 2026 will feel a little empty without her. The Diamond League races, the national championships, the big meets, they will all go on, but there will be a missing piece. Everyone will know that the world record holder is not there. And every time someone runs the 400-meter hurdles next year, people are going to ask the same question. What would Sydney have done? But that is okay, because what is coming after 2026 might be even better than anything we have seen so far. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone is going to be a mom. And when she comes back to the track, she is going to have a whole new reason to run. The 2028 LA Olympics just got a whole lot more interesting.